So a few years have gone by since the last video, so there are a lot of peace results that we need to check in on. So first things first, Alaska ended up winning that war with Yukon. We actually witnessed probably the battle that ultimately won Alaska, this massive war, and they got a lot of their cores back, and they even took some things away. So yeah, Yukon's not looking as well. Keep your eyes closed. Don't look at all the other wars that are going on. No, it's gonna be a surprise. It's a surprise. It's actually not that big of a deal. But Massachusetts, with their like amazing development over Cumberland, ended up getting a lot of their cores back. So New Brunswick kind of being shoved in the corner, and they're looking like they're in a pretty good position to take back some territory away from Rhode Island, some of their old territory away from Rhode Island. Florida ate up Georgia, so Georgia no longer exists. Franklin is still there, though. Texas grabbed a little bit of territory to the south, and now they're in a second war, this time against Wyoming and Nevada. This is huge, because does that mean California is going to get involved as they see a weakened Nevada? Because Texas is pretty powerful. As you can see, Texas is already going pretty deep into Wyoming lands. This is also a war that was declared for just Oklahoma, just this province in Oklahoma, which is Oklahoma. So yeah, not the whole state itself, but just this province. And yes, the prophecy came true. The prophecy is true. It wasn't California that declared the war against Nevada, though. It was Washington that declared against a big Alaska, which called in Nevada and Montana. So some very interesting things could be happening here. Texas is still in a pretty big mess. I'm sorry, not Texas. Mexico in a pretty big mess, kind of trying to sort out their problems because it's kind of crazy here. And oh yeah, Minnesota looking real good too. So yeah, there's all this. Iowa ended up falling because they got themselves involved into a three-front war. Iowa had declared war on Minnesota because of religious reasons. They declared war, heresy, something like that. I don't even know. Something. Yeah, because they were disconnected Catholic, I believe. They declared war on a Protestant nation, country, state, and but they ended up losing that. So yeah, and actually this might be a good time to just check in on religion. So we've got American baptism still pretty strong in the Deep South. Mormon is slowly going away because the state religion in all this territory is disconnected Catholic. So we're going to see, I think, most of Mormonism gone, I think, by the end of the series. I think completely gone. Probably not even by the end of the series, like pretty soon. So this is pretty big. Oh, Nevada's pieced out? I'm sorry, Texas is pieced out. And they did just get that one tile, or province, whatever you want to call it. Which means that Nevada's now can focus on California. California ended up winning their war against Jefferson, taking this really, really big development. And just like that, they are back at war. These are two separate wars. I know, it's kind of weird. So I lost like a little bit of recording, a few years, because I lost a recording because of a Steam update. Freaking Steam. So that's why some time has gone by. But that is pretty much everything that's happened. So Nevada's back at war. Back at war. This time, they're actually trying to defend their ally Alaska, though, this time. And it actually looks like Washington and California, yeah, they're not doing too good. They are not doing well at all. Now, is there any other wars that are taking place? I don't think so. I don't think so. Washington, yeah, -46. So it might not be California that loses a lot here. Alberta and Montana. Oh. Okay, so Saskatchewan. Something like that. Anyways, oh, they're allied to Minnesota. Ooh, Minnesota. Only out of Missouri now, though. They were allied to South Dakota before, not anymore. Either way, Montana's going to be in a tough situation. Now they're fighting a separate war that I don't believe they called in any allies. Well, this is because Montana doesn't have the allies as Alaska does. They're allied to Alberta and Alaska, but I don't know if Alaska's going to join in. Alberta's already sieged out. Is Yukon allied to anybody? Yes, they are. Ooh, so I don't know. This is going to be interesting. I'm surprised Yukon didn't take up the arms and try to get some of their cores back. I don't know if they have an idea if they can win this. So Texas is growing like really, really powerful. That's like the big update, is Texas is becoming really, really strong. But and what I was thinking is, does the West Coast needs to unite in order to stop Texas? Nevada and California are strong. Actually, Nevada's a lot stronger technically in terms of development than California. But right now, California's cornered. Nevada's smack dab in the middle, and they've got to fight all these different fronts. So even though California is weaker in terms of development, they're in a better spot because they're cornered off. Someone needs to unify, nonetheless, in the West Coast if they're going to stop Texas, because Texas is going to continue to desire lands. Actually, they don't have any vital interests. They have, they have strategic utility interest over Arizona, but Arizona's out to Sonora and California, so that's going to be tough, and Washington. So that will be tough to take down either way. Jefferson does still exist. They just lost like their big state, their big province. So that's kind of ultimately going to be the death blow. Virginia at war this time versus. Ooh, that's okay. Virginia calling Ontario. Remember, Ontario is just like cornered smashed in the corner. Pennsylvania, Quebec, Massachusetts, and Indiana. Remember, Virginia was like number 2 in development, right? Last time we checked in the last video. Oh, you're going to get your butt kicked, Virginia. What were you thinking? You're fighting Massachusetts, Quebec, Pennsylvania, and Indiana. And look at Indiana, too, and all the border gore that's going on in the Great Lakes. We've got Michigan and Indiana just kind of separating, completely destroying Illinois, first of all, and kind of dividing up some of this territory. Virginia's going to lose a lot here. We might see the release of West Virginia, maybe the release of Kentucky. I think things are going to get released, though, unless they have cores. If anyone has cores in these lands, which they do not. So I think things are going to get released. Obviously, Pennsylvania will probably try to take a few states away here and there, because why wouldn't they? Ooh. Is Texas... Oh, shoot. Oh, snap. All right, so Texas just broke their war broke their alliance with Florida. Texas was allied to Florida, and they no longer are anymore. We need to slow down here. This is too much. This is too much that's taking place right now. All right, so Texas is going after Florida, and actually, this is probably Mississippi that ultimately declared the war. They just were able to call in Texas. New South Wales, and Australia just broke out into this massive, massive civil war. Okay, we got to check in on that too. The Canadian province is going to win Alberta. Washington's losing to Alaska, so they might lose some territory that they control in kind of in the Canadian region. Missouri going after Kansas. Kansas only has like a province or two, so they're going to win that. Yeah, this was Mississippi for North Carolina. Florida just happened to... Oh, that's what happened. So Texas and Florida still technically could get up those alliances. They could get those alliances back up. But because of opposite rivals, they were allied to rivals. They both equally were allied to rivals. That's what kind of hurt them, which weakens Texas a little bit without having that strong alliance there in the Deep South. The Deep South is going to be in an interesting spot after this, because more than likely I think Mississippi and Texas are going to beat Florida and North Carolina. We're going to see Virginia, I think, lose territory here. Ultimately, they're going to lose a lot of territory. Yeah, so here's a big battle of Virginia just losing, which means that the 20 stack that's coming from Indiana, oh my gosh, Virginia is going to get destroyed if those 4 states want to destroy Virginia. Right now, they're only at -20 war score, but if they sit here for a couple months, Virginia is going to absolutely get crushed. That is interesting. This war on the West Coast is still going on, so I think it's safe to say that Washington's going to lose a lot of land. Jefferson might get some of its land back. They might release it back to, well, it'd be Oregon land, though. So I don't know if Jefferson doesn't have any cores here. Just in the stuff California took away. California seems to have lost. Oh, yeah, boom. So Nevada's going to siege Sacramento now. This also might be a huge win for Nevada. Huge. Wyoming still looks good, even though they lost a little bit of a province, little province. They still look good. They still look fine. Nevada now allied to Alaska, Montana, South Dakota, and Wyoming. Yep, I think Nevada's going to take up the sword. And I think Nevada will ultimately be the savior of the West Coast. Las Vegas City, Vegas Empire. It's going to stay in Vegas Empire. Whatever happens, stays in Vegas Empire. So if a bunch of Californians die, then that's going to stay in the Vegas Empire, because that's just what you do. You kill Californians, I guess. Oh, that's great. That's so great. All right. Oh, is Alberta? Yeah, Alberta's dead. Alberta's dead, and actually, you know, Montana didn't lose anything, so they got pretty lucky. They went, they tried to defend their friend, didn't work out so well. That's fine, they didn't lose anything themselves. And they might even get some land away from Washington if they are lucky. Alaska's, boom, just grabbed Seattle, I believe. Yes, that was, oh, Olympia. Olympia, why did I think Seattle? Well, I thought, actually, I'm shocked. I thought Seattle was the capital. I don't think that is a huge mistake, though. I think that's a pretty common mistake for people to think Seattle's the capital of Washington. But yes, how is this war going on with Mississippi? Let's see what war score they're at. 37, and boom, there goes the absolute destruction of Virginia. -51. I'm surprised that it's only -51. I'm thinking it's going to be in the 80s. Uh-oh. What happened here? Holy crap. Restrictorists heretics. Restrictorate. What is that? I've never seen that before. Restrictorate heretics. Are these because they are these disconnected Catholics? Because I believe Minnesota is Protestant. Yes, they are. Oh. State religion is Protestant, but they are disconnected Catholics. It's white because we've got rebels controlling. That's a 16 stack of rebels. Well, Minnesota's having some religious issues. That's kind of cool. That's kind of interesting. Hey, who's this? Is someone actually Pennsylvania? Oh, they're unsieging this. Okay, that makes sense. Why has no one gone after Quebec? They're involved. I'm sorry, Ontario. They're involved in this war. Yeah, that's weird. I think they're unsieging everything. I think it took them a little bit to... Quebec should have just sweeped over Ontario. I don't understand the AI sometimes. They do some pretty funky things. Oh, is this war over? Yes, Idaho was released. Alaska gained some of their... I guess they gained Vancouver and Victoria back. And they even grabbed King territory. California lost nothing, so they got... oh, yes, they did. They lost one thing to Nevada. 12 development. That's going to be another... That's a big win. That's another kind of back and forth. I feel like every single video, we're seeing a shift of power, a little teeter-totter between California and Nevada. Ultimately, as of the last two videos, California gained more by this 37 development. That wasn't even that wasn't Nevada territory. That was Jefferson, but still. This war is going to continue to rage, and actually, the Nevada looks like they've got stronger allies now. California needs to ally to Sonora. The problem is, yeah, Sonora hates California. And now we watch the East Coast. And now all eyes are on the East Coast. Man, just look at the states. It's crazy. Oh, Australia. Okay, let's see what's going down here. Almost forgot. I didn't even realize that there were that many states in Australia. That was the crazy part. And I'm actually shocked that it doesn't look like the Northern Territory is getting destroyed. It's kind of surprising. I thought they would. Yeah, New South Wales doing okay. They're trying to go after Victoria, which is a really well-developed province, 22. I mean, that's like, you know, compared to the rest of Australia. I almost called them Alaska. Oh, jeez. You know what's crazy? If you've been following me for a long time, I will never be able to mess up between Austria, Alaska, and Australia. I don't know. Like, I legit joke about dyslexia, like I have some, but there's actually like a big belief. I don't know if there are any like medical students that are watching my videos, but there's actually a little bit of a belief that, you know, you might have a slight form, a very slight form of dyslexia, Drew, because I swear, sometimes I just say, I just can't do Alaska, Australia, Austria. I don't know. That's strange. We'll check back in on Australia soon. Is this war over just yet? No, it's not. No new wars in North America. Man, I'm loving the gore though. The gore. Well, I mean, Mexico has a lot more border gore than anywhere else, but yeah, there's definitely some gore going on here. The East Coast just going crazy, especially kind of the deep southeast coast. So this means that Mississippi might get a whole bunch of land. They want Florida land. They want North Carolina land. They also want Franklin, but they're not at war with Franklin. Is Texas helping? Texas is helping a little bit, but not as much as I figured they would. Boom, Virginia's done. Not done, but I mean, like, the war for Virginia is over. And Indiana gained even more territory, and Indiana's looking even more ugly than ever before. Kind of controlling a little bit. What is this? This is Detroit, right? Detroit? Yeah, I think this is where Detroit is at. Yep, there it is. You know, having half of Illinois, grabbing Kentucky, and what else is this? Is this all exclusively Kentucky? Yeah, but anyways, point is, Indiana looks really, really ugly. But I'd say it doesn't matter because they're looking real powerful, right? And Pennsylvania, I think, ultimately gained the most, though. Yeah, Indiana actually only grabbed Pike, but it was Pennsylvania that grabbed all this stuff. 1, 2, 3, you know, like 3 or 4 provinces. Is Virginia still have their allies? I mean, they're still allied to South Carolina and, you know, Ontario, but what is that going to do? So Pennsylvania's looking good. Pennsylvania's looking real good, and if they stay allied to this alliance right here, that is going to be the death blow to, I think, most of the continent. Massachusetts, Quebec, and Pennsylvania. If they all stay allied, those 3 stay allied to each other, they're going to take over the world. Not take over the world, but they might be able to stop Texas if Texas if Texas continues to go crazy. That is a crazy alliance. In the middle here, you can never tell. You know, from past experience with superstates, you cannot tell who's going to stay alive in the middle and who's going to just die like that. Like, I bet you anything Minnesota could fall, you know, out of power like at any second. California and Washington looking real weak, though. Specifically Washington. But anyways, guys, I'm going to stop right there. Let's check in on Australia real quick. The war is still raging, so we don't know what's going to happen, but we'll see you in the next one. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.